Stand up here. I don't know if that camera's moving. It got Brett or not. Did it move? So, there you go.
Hey y'all, I'm Ashley.
Hey, Ashley.
I'm nervous again.
Don't be nervous.
Okay, so I shared a little bit the other night, but I've been thinking all day after I was told this morning that I might share again, and I don't know, I can't prepare a testimony, but I didn't share everything the other night, but because kids were there, but 2 of them are asleep, so they're not going to listen. But I was born into a great family, 2 older brothers, best family around, strict but good people. But about 6, 7 years old, I was sexually molested. I grew up fast. 11 years old, I started doing drugs. Started doing pills. Had no respect for myself. Didn't talk to God. Didn't pray at all. And I was just chasing the wrong attention. That went on till first of high school. I had my first serious overdose in 9th grade. Amanda was the one that found me in the bathroom. After that, I said I was done. And I was for a little while. Been married twice, both of them for wrong reasons. And still, God was not in those relationships. Had 2 beautiful kids. But once again, I was still doing it for wrong reasons. God was not in my life whatsoever. Me and their daddy got a divorce. And in the middle of this, I was drinking, but I was maintaining, so I do not think I was an addict. And then 6 months after the divorce, I found the wrong person at the wrong time and introduced me to pills again. And 3 months after that, I lost custody of my kids. And if you knew me before, you knew my kids were my world. And that was the hardest thing I've ever went through in my life. And it took me, I fought. I would go to DFACs. I was fighting to get them back, but I still wasn't going to God at all. I would pray, like Brett said, I would pray, but like, God, help me get through this. I'll get it together. But did I mean it? No, I didn't. Still trying, but then eventually visitation got cut out because I was going over there high. And then later on, I moved to Winder, Georgia, thinking that if I got away from Elberton, it would help me get clean. Within the first weekend down there, I was doing harder drugs. And then I went to meth and heroin. And I would say within 3 months of being down there, I overdosed. And from what I remember, I woke up in a trailer park, had no idea where I was. All I knew, cartel was involved. And I had to call somebody to find me because I had no idea where I was. He couldn't find me on location. And then all of a sudden somebody popped back in. And from what I can remember is they thought I was gone. They had pretty much left me for dead. And after that is when I really started fighting. I really started trying. Called my mama the next day, said I was ready to go to rehab. But still not talking to God. God was not involved at all. I just want to get sober. I want to know why my kids were not enough, why I wasn't enough. And so I got arrested for credit card fraud. I was stealing, I was lying, I was cheating, I was doing everything wrong. I laughed about that arrest. Got out, my parents bailed me out. I guess my daddy is my world, but my daddy is my biggest enabler. If I was to go out here and murder somebody tomorrow, he's going to hide me because he don't want to see me behind bars. So he bonded me out. And then right before I got clean, I got arrested for entering automobile and theft. At this time, I was trying really hard to get clean. I was, but still not talking to God. And then finally I got arrested, and like being in jail, you're praying to God, doing everything, saying everything right. But I don't remember the day, but I remember being in jail, and I had been in there for like 2 weeks, and I was telling the girls in there, I was like, when I get out here, I'm going to have one last hoorah, and then I'm going to do right. And then that night, I was laying down trying to go to sleep, and I talked to God like I had never talked to him before. And I was like, when I get out of here, I'm going to do right. I'm going to do right by my kids, by God, by everybody. And then 2 weeks later, I was able to get out on drug court. And drug court is a rehab, but outpatient rehab, strict classes, everything was strict. But it's what I needed to get me away from the bad habits I was chasing. 2 months, yes, two months after being out of jail, I got back involved in church, got saved October the 7th. Still not perfect though. He's still working on me. Like Brett said, I was the same way. I was so scared to talk because I had a bad mouth. Like every other word was a cuss word. I was cussing in front of the kids, cussing at the kids. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm perfect because I'm not. But it was last Sunday you preached and there was conviction in me. And even though I'm saved, I'm not perfect. I'm still human. I'm still working on myself. But within the last week, my mouth has cleaned up so much. And it's like, if I do accidentally make a mistake, it's like the first thing I want to do is apologize. And, you know, that was what scared me away from churches, because I was like, okay, well, I'm not perfect. I don't want to go to church with all these perfect people and they judge me. But that's not how it is. Like, we're all human. And I've been going to this church my whole life. And it's been nothing but family. I mean, it always has been. But it just took me till now to get it together. And I'm grateful for this whole family here, everybody here. It's a home to me. And used to, I was a couch potato. I want to stay at home all the time, not do nothing. And I told Greg, I was like, man, we got a lot going on. But not once did I complain about it. Like, I enjoy coming here. I'm grateful for what God's done in my life. And I'm grateful that I don't have to live that life no more. Amen. Thank y'all.